It is good. Yum, yum. That's good.
Are you filming it already? Everybody, Colin here from Something Mechanical. Welcome to my Something Mechanical, what do you call it, YouTube channel. Holy shit. Okay, so anyway, today I've had some of my friends ask me, how do I make wine? It's simple. I get wine box. I have water in a water container holder here, and I have some of my recently bottled port to help me through this session. So I'm going to show you the first steps of how we're going to start this whole process. So this here is what's called the primary fermenter, and this is where the first stage of your wine is going to go into. When you got the beating spoon, you've probably seen this when you were a kid and got whacked across the ass with it. So this here I've already sterilized with Sterilant. I'll show you that bag right here. Sterilant. And basically what that is, just make sure that everything is nice and clean. So I just use the sprayer, I spray everything down, and I give it a really good rinse. I also do the top as well, so when I'm getting ready I can just put my spoon on there so it doesn't get touched by any contaminants, so on and so forth. And right now I am fixing to start this kit. So just before we start, I'm using an express yeast pack here, and what that's going to do for me is going to get me drunk faster. I'm just kidding. It's not going to get you drunk faster, but this kit here, it's a 4 to 8 week kit from the start to the time that you bottle it. And this kit here, after we use this, I've never used this before, so you're in for a treat here today. This here, I'm going to have it in the bottles in 10 days, and I'm going to start drinking it probably shortly after that. Accelerate your breath, exactly. So here's the list of instructions that they get you. You can go to any wine store and they'll sell you about whatever, not wine store, sorry, any wine kit making store. And basically they'll tell you everything that you're going to need. It's also right on the side here. But anyway, you start off the instructions, you follow them. I know everybody gets a little bit freaked out right away. They're like, but did I do this right? Probably not. But you probably did it right, you're just freaking out. So I'm going to start by, it says here, 2 cups of water to add to get hot. As I was so gently warned by the wife. I didn't actually show the kit. So anyway, here's the kit. This is a $92 kit. It comes with everything. It's got the oak chips, make everything taste nice and oaky, which I like. First off, you're gonna need, out of this whole pack of everything here, is just the number 2 bentonite pack. Usually I would use the yeast too, but since I'm going right to the accelerated yeast, I'm going to be using this yeast. Also with the water, if you are going to use tap water, you need to let it sit for 24 hours overnight with the lid off, so you can let the chlorine evaporate, and then you can start your process from there. Now, like I said, I've been heating this water here before I even started talking to you. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw this in here. Yeah, that's it. It's a little hot water. And the bentonite is going to clip off the corners to make sure. Yeah, you can tear it off with your teeth if you like. If you like, you can tear it off with your teeth. We're civilized. So what you do is you put the camera down here, please. Don't look at my pretty face all day. So if you look down here, I put, of course, a little step up from the floor, and I just start sprinkling. All right, so here we go. And the wheels in the bus go round and round. And this is the bentonite going round and round. Basically, if you don't... Actually, I can just do this too. This is just as easy. I could do that. And just a little bit more sprinkling, because you do not want to get it clumped up, because you're going to have to sit there and smash it. It ain't a good time. It really ain't a good time. Anyway, so you just kind of move it around, add a little more. Yeah, oh good, I got it all over the sides there. Good with me. Yeah, so look at that. Oh look, yeah, I can take that off just like that. You want to get it nice and mixed up. Don't be afraid. It'll be fine. Have a little. Oh, that port is fine. Which I will do another video of. It's a little bit different. It's a little more involved. There's no water adding to it. But man, is it ever delicious. I'm already messing up. Of course I did for the camera. I messed up for the camera, but I'm going to show you that I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'm just going to go ahead and just stir, stir, stir. Stir, stir, stir until the whole contents of this package is done. It's very grainy, so once you get it all stirred in and mixed up, it's not going to be that way. And yes, that's it. Anyway, you don't need to sit there and watch me stir this the whole time. So I'm going to cut the video here. I'll splice in magically, like a leprechaun would, and we'll show you the next step. Welcome back to the second part of the making wine. So now that I've got the bentonite all done up, now I'm going to go ahead and pop off this wine cap. Now a lot of these boxes, this one does not, probably because it's heavy, but I like to use a spoon. Prying it off with your fingernails, I just hate the fact that if I tear my nails off, I'm going to be mad. Real mad. Raging bull mad. So anyway, I just kind of, should make me look like it. There we go. Amateur hour, people. So basically, all you do now, there, and you're just going to pour that in. Look at the blood! It's actually just one of my victims. Oh. Good save, see? If you got a good firm hold of the bag, which I clearly did. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they say to add a little bit of water to the bag to get all the necessary juice, so I will do a little add. Okay. So, a little add to the bag, shake it around, move it around, get all the juicy, aka the blood of your victims. Now, when we get to the bottling stage, which we're not going to show right yet, but these bags, if you keep them, you can wash them out, and when the wine is done, put it in the bag, put a little cap on it, put it back in the box, make a little hole, wine on tap, just like box wine that you do at the store. So now that we have that, we now just give this a stir, for a frantic stir, for about 3 minutes. So I'll spare you the gory weight, and actually, hold on a second here. I'll do this. We'll add the water to the 23-liter mark. So let's just stir that. There.
Yeah.
Like I said, have at least 2 of these on hold.
One, two, three.
All right.
Then said if you use a food ball, that was the other one.
Right.
Different stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm going to stir. Stir, stir for about 3 minutes. And I will see you in that time, and I will show you the next step. So this is about how much you'd want to stir right here. You can even back it up and do some more. Actually, we can just keep this rolling because I'm just going to go ahead and add the wood chips. Now, in the express yeast pack, those silly buggers tell me to add the yeast and put the wood chips in afterwards. But you have to stir the wood chips in. So, if you're ever using an express wine package, do this first. They made a mistake because you want to add the yeast afterwards because you have to put it in a spot where your wine isn't going to get disturbed. Then you're going to add the yeast on top, and you don't want to drown it. So you don't want to stir it. Like it says in that stupid instruction there where it says, oh, go ahead, add the yeast, but do not stir. Oh, and if your wine has wood chips and sawdust and angel dust, you're going to want to stir it. So, but they got it backwards. So I'm just going to do my part and show you the right way. Just another thing I'd like to point out is, come down here. So this right here, to all of my wine jugs, my carboys, I add this temp stick right here. And basically you want your wine to be between 20 and 25 degrees. So I got the green mark here showing up that it's 73 degrees, because if it's too hot, your yeast might not activate, and also if it's too cold. So you want to start in between those two, 20 and 25 degrees. Yeah, so I'm going to now get the fermenter into the spot where it's going to stay, and sprinkle the yeast on top, close it, and I'll see you in that segment. Hey everybody, this will conclude the final step of the start to your wine. So I have the wine that we started in the kitchen, in the living room, by my other 2 beautiful wines that are started. Once again, the same steps. I know I showed you that I use the accelerated yeast kit, or yeast pack, which comes separately than your wine kit, but the steps are the exact same. So I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle this on top, just like so. It's a lot of yeast. And like I said, this will make my 4 to 8 week kit into a 10-day kit. So after that's done, you're just going to put the lid on. Do not, let me say this a little slower, do not close that lid all the way. I did that my first time and I almost blew up the whole batch. So all that happens is this just sits right on top, no clicking, nothing like that. Yeah, and you don't want to do that. So join me next time for the next stage. I'm going to show you what happens next. I'm actually going to do a high-end kit in the very near future as well. It's got some extra things, like if you look in here, you'll see a floating bag, which is actually the grape skins that the juice was crushed from. So we're going to go over that kit as well. And yeah, we're going to go over how some of that wine tastes and which kits I found the best, which were the most ease of use. If you drink a lot of wine like I do, then this is going to help you out a lot. Okay, we'll see you next time. And yeah, ciao for now. Just a little note here on your wine instructions. Every one that I usually do, I put what wine it is. So if it's a Sangiovese, that's this one here. I put it at the top because I usually have multiple kits going because I like to have a lot of wine on hand. You're just going to put in the day that you started it, and then the day I usually do the second step just ahead of time, so I know when I got to go on the 22nd. Now I know that that doesn't add up for the 17th, 22nd for the 14 days here, but this again is the accelerated thing that I'm doing. The accelerated package. So if you aren't doing the accelerated package, you're just going to go from day 1, when day 14 is, or however long that's going to be, that's when you're going to do your second step. Okay? And till next time, we'll see you then.